The Earth is home to some incredible historical relics and structures that appear to defy their era's technological capabilities. But do you genuinely think these amazing relics were created by humans, or did that type of technology exist at the time? This does not appear to be the case, right? Perhaps the people who created these sites are not from this world. They could have been aliens. Stay tuned to our video on the Earth Mysteries to find out more about the amazing 100,000-year-old alien technology. Let's get started. It is fun to think about whether or not aliens have ever been to Earth. After all, humans are on the verge of expanding their space travel, and we can see places like Mars. But the truth is that there is no proof that aliens have ever visited Earth, and blaming the supernatural for some of humanity's biggest and most mysterious achievements means ignoring the fascinating ways that people in the past built some of the biggest and most mysterious things on Earth. Sacsayhuaman. In the Peruvian Andes, there is a fortress called Sacsayhuaman. It is near the old Inca capital of Cusco. Some people think that Sacsayhuaman, which is made of huge stones that have been carved and put together like a jigsaw puzzle, might have been made by an ancient civilization with a little help from aliens. The interlocking walls of the fortress are made of rocks that weigh up to 360 tons each and had to be moved more than 20 miles before they were lifted and placed with laser-like accuracy. How an ancient culture accomplished such a feat of engineering is a fun little problem to solve. Turns out the Inca were as adept at building houses and fortified complexes as they were at watching the sky and keeping calendars. In fact, Sacsayhuaman isn't the only building with this kind of complicated stonework. There are similar walls all over the Inca Empire, like one in Cusco, where a stone with 12 angles was carefully placed. Archaeologists have recently found evidence of the Incas' rope and lever system for moving stones from their quarries to their cities. This system was based on strength and creativity, not on alien architects. Nazca lines. More than 800 long, straight white lines seem to be drawn at random into the Peruvian desert on a high dry plateau about 200 miles southeast of Lima. There are also 300 geometric shapes and 70 animal figures, like a spider, monkey, and hummingbird, that go with them. The longest lines go straight for miles and miles. The largest shapes are almost 1,200 feet long, and the best way to see them is from the air. Scientists think the Nazca drawings could be as old as 2,000 years because of their age, size, ability to be seen from above, and mysterious nature. The lines are often cited as one of the best examples of alien work on Earth. Otherwise, how would an ancient culture have been able to make such huge designs in the desert without being able to fly? Why? It turns out that the how is pretty easy to figure out. Geoglyphs are mysterious designs made by removing the top layer of rust-colored rocks to reveal the whiter sand underneath. The why is harder to understand. When the designs were first looked at in the early 1900s, it was thought that they were aligned with constellations or solstices. However, more recent research suggests that the Nazca lines point to ceremony or ritual sites that have to do with water and fertility. The shapes can also be seen from the foothills around them, as well as from the air. Egyptian pyramids. The most famous of Egypt's pyramids is in Giza, just outside of Cairo. The pyramids at Giza were built more than 4,500 years ago. They are huge tombs where queens and pharaohs were buried. But how did the Egyptians actually make these things? Each stone in the Great Pyramid weighs at least 2 tons and was cut with great care. Even with the cranes and other construction tools we have now, it would be hard to build a pyramid as big as Pharaoh Khufu's. The pyramids are also said to be aligned with the stars in Orion's belt, according to astronomy. Also, alien theorists often say that these 3 pyramids are in much better shape than others that were built hundreds of years later, never mind the amount of work that has gone into preserving them over the past several centuries. So are Egypt's pyramids artifacts of aliens? No, not really. Scientists don't know exactly how the ancient Egyptians built the pyramids, especially how they did it so quickly, but there's a lot of evidence that thousands of people worked on these tombs. Stonehenge. Outside of Salisbury, England, there is a huge circle of stones, some of which weigh as much as 50 tons. The Neolithic monument called Stonehenge made the Swiss author Erich von Däniken think it was a model of the solar system that also served as a landing pad for aliens. After all, how else could those huge stones have ended up hundreds of miles away from where they came from? No one is sure what Stonehenge is all about, but like the other sites in this collection, the answer is not aliens. Instead, scientists have shown that it is possible to build such a thing with tools and techniques that were available 5,000 years ago when the first buildings at the site were built. Now, it looks like the stones are lined up with solstices and eclipses. This suggests that the people who built Stonehenge were at least aware of the sky, even if they didn't come from there. Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan, meaning the City of the Gods, is a sprawling ancient city in Mexico that's best known for its pyramidal temples and astronomical alignments. Teotihuacan was built more than 2,000 years ago. Its age, size, and complexity can make it seem like something from another world, but it was made by people. Scientists think that people from many different cultures, such as the Maya, Zapotec, and Mixtec, built the city, which could hold more than 100,000 people. Teotihuacan is often thought to be much more technologically advanced than should have been possible in pre-Aztec Mexico because of its murals, tools, transportation system, and evidence of advanced farming techniques. The huge Pyramid of the Sun is by far the most well-known building at Teotihuacan. The pyramid is one of the biggest of its kind in the Western Hemisphere. Its strange alignment is thought to be based on calendrical cycles. Easter Island. The mysteries surrounding the moai, a group of large stone figures on Easter Island, are pretty much the same as those surrounding the other sites described here. How did the Rapa Nui make these figures over 1,000 years ago? What brought the moai to Easter Island? Nearly 900 stone figures of people are spread out along the sides of the island's extinct volcanoes. The figures are on average 13 feet tall and weigh 14 tons. They look like they were carved out of soft volcanic tuff in the Rano Raraku quarry. There, more than 400 statues are still being built in different stages, and some finished statues are waiting to be moved to where they will be put to rest. It's not clear why the moai were made, but it's likely that they were made for religious or ritual purposes. It's also not clear what happened to the stone-making Rapa Nui, but the most popular theory is that their culture died because of a disaster they caused to the environment. This probably could have been avoided if ancient aliens had given the Rapa Nui their infinite knowledge. The face on Mars. If Elon Musk gets his way, people will be able to go to the face of Mars by the end of this century. The so-called face was found by the Viking 1 orbiter in 1976. It is almost 2 miles long and is in a place called Cydonia, which is between the smooth plains in the north of Mars and the rougher terrain in the south. Scientists at the time thought the face was just shadow play, but over the years it has become a favorite among people who think aliens who like to build things have been visiting the solar system. In 2001, NASA's Mars Global Surveyor looked at the face again, this time with a camera that had a much higher resolution, and it saw nothing. It turns out that what looked like a face was just a boring old mesa on Mars, like the ones that are all over the southwest of the United States. Even so, it would still be fun to go there. Now it's time to end this video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave your thoughts in the comments section. Also, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos from us. We'll see you in the next video.